There we go. Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome back to Jen Cares. I am your host, and I am excited to be here tonight. We have a great guest coming on. But let me get my intro together. Welcome to Jen Cares. I'm back, and this is our back to school series. I missed you last week. Did you guys miss me? You can put it in the comments. I'll read them. So I'm your host, Jen Cares, the founder of Chosen Counselors, a nonprofit organization that seeks to inspire, motivate, empower, and strengthen individuals and families. I want to start off by saying special thanks to the ladies who helped us with our finance series. It was such a success. I am still receiving messages of people that are working to apply those tidbits to their lives. So I am so grateful, so grateful, so grateful. If you missed an episode of the finance series or our connection series, which was before that, we're in our third series. Amazing. Be sure to check us out on YouTube, or you can come on our Facebook page and see all of the videos right here. So, back to school. We have entered a new norm. Parents, are y'all okay? Students, are y'all okay? Because the struggle is real, okay? So tonight, we did a little switcheroo, but I wanted to be able to do this series to be able to bring educators to help give tidbits, on virtual learning, virtual school, in-person school, how you could stay safe, what steps you could take regarding future, not just today. So we're doing virtual today, but that won't be forever. And how what you're doing now impacts tomorrow, okay? So they're going to share some different nuggets of wisdom to help our children navigate through the different things. Tonight's guest, again, we did a little switcheroo and tell you God is amazing. God is amazing. Tonight, I have my good friend, Rasheda Gary. She is the director of Overbrook Little Learners, and we're going to talk about where it all begins. So help me introduce, welcome, Rasheda Gary.
Hello, everyone. Hi.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Oh, yes. So let's get it going. Tonight, how you doing?
I'm good. We survived the Monday.
We survived the Monday. And I'm sorry, I think I'm a little excited.
Yeah.
I wasn't on last week, so now I feel like I got a lot to say today.
All right. Let's go.
We'll find out what happens. Okay. So we start off with our quote of the day.
Sure.
So our quote of today is dun, dun, dun. I gotta switch the root to burgundy. Okay. Teach me and I forget. Tell me and I forget. Teach me and I remember. Involve me and I learn. And that's by Benjamin Franklin. What are your thoughts on that quote?
Awesome. It's very, very true. And that's for everyone. Everyone has a different style of learning. However, if you can demonstrate it, what the expectation is, it's so much easier for someone to grasp because it's much more realistic. So it's real, and it's at all levels.
Yes. Now, I also saw when I was reading your bio, your quote at the end, it said, it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Talk about it.
Awesome. I'm a social worker. I'm an MSW, Masters of Social Work. So I used to work for the court systems at the Defenders Association of Philadelphia. Yes. So I got a chance to see the dependent side and the delinquent side. And by the time our children are teenagers or reach that court system, it's so hard to kind of bring them back and teach them a different way. So one of the reasons why I started the business is because I decided, hey, the heck with all of this. Let's start while they're young. If we can teach them while they're young, allow them to enjoy education while they're young, then they won't hit the system at all. Please excuse my 3-year-old.
You totally all right. We back to school. It's totally all right.
Okay. So that's the basis behind it, because I saw it in practice. It is true. By the time a young man decides they want to provide for their family or earn money, school is out the window. But if you teach them earlier on principles of entrepreneurship, of how to earn and keep money, how to work and get their education, and teach them other options, they're more likely to stay in school and do well. And I would never see them in the court system.
Awesome. And that's what it's about. We don't want to see them if we can help them. We want to educate them, give them the tools they need to survive.
Absolutely.
Okay, so as always, I prepared some questions.
Sure.
But if any of my chosen friends have a question, be sure to type it below, and we'll be sure to have Ms. Gary answer them for you. And as you heard her, she has some experience. I got a little bit of experience. We're going to help y'all out tonight, okay?
All right. Okay. I'm ready.
So before we get into the questions, let's really go back to school.
Okay.
Who was your favorite teacher in school?
I didn't have one.
Oh, wow.
Would you believe mostly all of the teachers that I had were teachers that just graduated or were there to do their student teaching, and they were just trying to learn classroom management.
Okay.
I moved on to middle school. I started to find other African-American teachers, that started to care about us, and they broke it down for us and told us, like, hey, you have to get it. You don't have to like it, but you have to get it. Yeah. And kind of taught us the best thing to do.
You all right?
So we did it. High school, no favorite teacher, because you didn't have that connection with anyone.
Okay.
So I decided to give kids a connection. And so from now until my kids are in high school, we keep in touch with them.
Okay.
Awesome. It's kind of like a commitment.
Awesome. I love how you put that spin on it. I don't know if I had a favorite teacher. I remember some teachers. I remember at Bieber, yes, we had music class, so we would learn how to play the keyboard. So I thought I was really going to be a musician. That did not work out for me, though. They're like teachers that I remember, but nobody I don't know that I would have a favorite either. No. Okay, so I got another question for you.
Sure.
This is what you want to know. What was your least favorite hairstyle growing up?
Oh my. Okay, I had one with a bunch of barrettes.
Okay.
I don't know why parents think a bunch of barrettes and beads are cute. I don't know if we asked for them or they just think that it bouncing around is good. Yes. I don't think I ever lived down that picture. I mean, it is horrible. I could probably send it to you. That's how bad it is. It was bad. I'm so embarrassed until this day. I couldn't believe my mom made me go to school like that. It was horrible.
We definitely all got some pictures like that. I think mine was probably, when we had that roller right there, and that curl thing never come down. And you're trying to get it down, didn't work.
It's horrible.
But it came in handy. When I thought I could curl my own hair with the curling irons and I burnt my head, then I wanted that girl. But before then, I didn't want that girl. Oh, goodness. Memories. Okay. So what made you get into and you said a little bit about this, but just to talk a little bit more on it, what made you get into early childhood education? Uh-oh. Don't do this to me. All right. No worries. While we do that, I'm going to read some comments till I get her back. Let's see what you're talking about. Gab said, yay, the series is back again today for a new episode. Missed this during holiday weekend. I know it's going to be so good. Indeed. We're about to have some fun. Okay. Loves you. Cute. It's back to school. I had to get my hair done for it because we back to school tonight. Uh-oh. I got somebody back. She ready.
I'm back.
we gotta work it out.
Yeah.
Yes. Good light indeed. A ring light is nice. Okay. All right. So let's get to that question. What caused you to get into early childhood education?
I really got tired of going to the bar to court and making decisions on behalf of children that really was not right. You did what they wanted you to do, not what was the best interest of the child at all. And so children need very basic principles, and it's love, unconditional, genuine love.
Yes.
Good meals, and they need clothing. Clothes make them feel secure. I don't care what economic status you're in. If you give kids a uniform shirt and everyone's wearing the same thing, they feel rich. If kids come to school and they have holes in their uniform or their clothes or they're dirty or whatever, or unironed, they have no self-esteem. So for me, it was very easy. You meet the basic needs of the child. So, hey, drop them off. We'll do everything. And that was the basis. We wanted to start something that we can make an impact in the community. I'm from West Virginia, so I've seen it here, there, and everywhere. And we just wanted to support. Yeah, take the stress off. Just let you drop off your kid and not worry about it. That was it.
I love it. And again, it's needed. I thank you for the service. Everybody can't do this field.
Yeah.
Because some people look at it as if it's like babysitting. Is early childhood education babysitting? Talk about that.
No. So that's the other thing. There are centers that market themselves as daycares. They're just that, a daycare. But sit and watch your child. They'll let your child watch television and do whatever else. However, you have to really, really look for those centers that are education focused, the ones that state provide education and support and so forth, the ones that actually do the assessments. They do, the developmental assessments, and they help you kind of transition into kindergarten or transition into an elementary school or whatever the case is. So parents really have to beware. Most times parents call and they just want to know what the hours are and how much you charge. They don't ask about the curriculum. They don't ask what the children are doing, what the facility looks like, or how long the staff have, within a program. And that makes it challenging. So you know that parent is there for just daycare. They're not there for education and development.
And that's a benefit, because you want them to, it's so much more than just like somebody watching your child. It really is educational pieces, social pieces. And we'll get into that too, because I had some questions about that. Now, did you always plan to work with children?
So honestly, when I was in high school or even junior high, I thought I would become a pediatrician until I realized I couldn't stand the sight of blood. So that didn't work out. I went away to college, and I just started studying and figured, what can I do? I was here at this all-women's white Catholic college, and I didn't really see many people like me. And while I was there, I understood the education, but it would not reach back to my neighborhood, to my community. My mom is an active person in the community. And I just was like, this isn't working. So what I did was I went to I studied, I started working in the field, and I thought about it. I said, wait a minute, this is crazy. And I worked as a social worker. I went on, I got my master's degree from the University of Pennsylvania. I went and worked for the University Hospital. I worked with pregnant women, and guess what? That's where it started at. Pregnant women who were depressed, suicidal ideation, smoking weed, all kinds of stuff. Them how to care for their baby before their baby was even born. Once I sat in the office, no windows for 5 to 6 years, I realized I couldn't do this anymore. Because again, with adults, it's hard to teach adults new things. It was hard to teach teenagers new things. Once we get settled in our ways, sometimes our mind isn't open enough to learn new things. So I said, what? Forget about guys. Give me the kids.
Yes.
So much easier to teach kids how to take care of themselves, how to pull up your underwear, how to go to the bathroom, how to say please and thank you, how to cover your sneeze or your cough. It was so much easier to just teach kids mannerisms and how to love. That's the other thing. What kiss me.
Yes.
Getting that lady that's in my office that's 30 years old with 5 kids, teaching her about love with 5 kids, 30, that was a really hard project to do. So all I could do is pray for her and provide her resources. But what I could do is with that kid, I could show them from birth until, hey, you're 5 years old or older. I could teach you.
I love it. And it's so needed. I meet some children that don't know some of those things. I'm gonna send them over there to Overbrook Little Learners. I see your shirt. Now I've been to your center recently, and I would actually, even before coming to your center, anytime I would ride past or anytime I would see the van, I just get like filled up with joy. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, girl. So tell us a little bit about Overbrook Little Learners, where you're located, and things that sort.
So Overbrook Little Learners is located directly across the street from Overbrook High School. I am an alumni of Overbrook High School. So henceforth, naming it Overbrook Little Learners, basically a way to give back to the community. So we are right on the corner of 59th and Oxford Street, right where the G bus turns. We are a small facility. We are licensed. Our license capacity is for 21 children. We have the Philly Pre-K program, and we are also a STARS Level 4 program. All of our staff have been with us more than 3 years. So that's huge in the field of childcare. They go from to 10 years. We don't have a high level of turnover at all. And like I said, we build relationships, so we keep families. We don't do constant enrollment and, overnight enrollment. We don't do those kind of things. So building of it, an interview, it's a process and so forth. And I'm here. We've been in business for 11 years.
Awesome. 11 years. Congratulations. Definitely, when you said they've been there for the time period that they have been there, it shows to you as well as being their leader, how you have established those relationships. And I'm sure they love you and wouldn't trade you for the world.
Thank you.
So that's awesome.
Not at all.
So what would you say?
We don't have bad parents. Bad parents. We don't have bad families. We don't have with our families at all. We meet you where you are. You're struggling, we meet you where you are.
That's it. That's it. And that's what it's about. You know, sometimes, yes, I'm a mess. Just help me out. And then I can get myself together.
Yeah, we'll work with you. We've been blessed by doing that. So it hasn't been about the dollar. It hasn't been about, any fanfare at all. It's just real, honest, care.
I love it. I love it. So what would you say you love most about your job?
I love the children the most because they have a willingness to learn. I mean, they're so eager. See, as parents, even with myself, I have a 3-year-old that's sitting here. It's really his bedtime, but I'm letting him hang out a little bit late. Well, parents, we're so focused on washing the kid, grooming the child, putting the clothes on, feeding the kid, getting the kid over to the next. That often parents don't have time to say, hey, let me teach you how to tie that shoe. Yes. Or let me teach you this word in Spanish. Or hey, let me teach you how to pronounce this. So then when they get to us, we could do that. And it's fun because they're so eager. They know it all, and that's exciting. It's validating because what you're teaching them is going to stick with them. Now, let me also tell you this. Do you know in elementary schools, they don't really teach phonics, the pronunciation of things, and they don't teach handwriting?
I did hear about that handwriting. Yeah, but how are they not going to learn how to pronunciate things?
Well, see, here's the thing. They now believe that, kids shouldn't really sit at the table for a certain amount of time. Now, when you go to pronounce things and you go to do grammar, I mean, you can do activities, but it's not found in the centers. And what they want you to have kids go learn through play. And so because I own my own program, I can do a combination of things. So we do homework, which means we ask parents to, help the child. We do YouTube videos. We do recorded videos to help the children. And while we're sitting there eating, we just start reciting stuff, and
yes. That's right. You done distracted them so much. They saying stuff they didn't know they even knew.
Exactly. So if we're in the bathroom and we're talking about hand washing, we'll start things in Spanish while we're hand washing. It's lessons to be taught, during those times. So we take advantage of the full day, pretty much.
Very nice. Very nice. So how has it been with this lovely COVID-19, the quarantine? How has that affected, children coming in or not coming in?
We're blessed. I can honestly say that we're blessed. It has affected us, but we haven't seen a change. We've been teaching virtually, which is good. We have children that we're teaching online virtually. So that's 10 out of our 21. And we currently have 5 students on site. That's excellent because that works with the CDC guidelines. We have 5 children, 2 teachers on site, plus us 2 as administrative staff, and we have 2 teachers that full-time virtually. So we are full staff. We did lose, I'll be honest with you, we did lose our cash paying parents, and we know why. A lot of our cash paying parents, they're at home, so they rather keep their children at home, or they have siblings that are at home, or maybe they may have lost their job or something like that. I mean, it could be anything. We've lost that population, but I'll be honest with you, everything is manageable, and it allows us to do a lot of behind the scenes stuff that we didn't have time to do. Establish women's own minority business,
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
That took forever. So, I mean, even doing things like what we're doing now, it's been a joy to do those things because, we've been compensated. We've been blessed to get grants. We were able to receive about $25,000 in grants. So teachers have had to collect unemployment. We've been able to pay all of our staff. All of our staff earn $13 and $15 an hour, which is more than what childcare normally pays. So we're doing well.
And if you need a job, y'all better go over there to Overbrook Little Learners. They doing good.
Yeah,
got little virtual activities. Yes. And that's a blessing, And as you said, it's about giving back to the community. And as you're doing that, that causes, good things to come right on back to you.
And it has, because let me tell you what the blessings that we get. We've never failed an inspection. We've never been on any modified operation plans. We never had a kid that has been injured and had to go to the hospital. We have never had those incidents at all. We had there was a fire at a neighbor's house a couple of doors down. The fire department used our daycare center as like a safe haven place. And while they were in there, they were watching, looking, and inspecting. And guess what? We had no issues at all. So those are the blessings that I really appreciate, is not to have with inspectors.
Yes.
I could go get coffee. Like, I could just leave my building and get coffee whenever I want to, and not be out of ratio and not have to worry about staffing. I mean, it feels really, really good not to work.
Yes. Yo, that's a blessing. That is a blessing. And let me tell you again, I did go visit, and she was legit. Can you put these little booties on? I'm gonna take you on a tour, but we gotta be sanitary and everything. And I don't want no problems, so I had no problem putting my little booties on. She said, "Here go trash can right here when we were done." Again, beautiful facility, awesome.
One of the things I did learn, for anybody on that's thinking about operating in child care, bigger is not always better. I did have more than one center, and I'll be honest with you, you lose quality because you can't focus on everything, and it comes with a major sacrifice. And it's nothing against larger centers, but again, it's so hard to maintain.
And when you can focus on one thing, you perfect that thing, you're gonna have a good flow of some babies coming in to get that good that you're doing. Absolutely. And then it speaks for you. So other people are like, you want to go over there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, because do I have to live in your area to go to your center?
You do not. We've had families that drove from Delaware, Claymont, Delaware, that came to us. We started in my home back in 2009 when I started in my home. And when I lived in Southwest, and I would have parents come from Jersey, from Delaware, from anywhere, because people were looking for trustworthy people. And so one thing parents should know, if I'm a social worker, I can't let anything go down to my facility. I can't lose that hard-earned, license and master's degree. I can't do that. So as a result, like, it has to be on the up and up, because if I lose that, I lose everything. I've never claim against us, none of my staff either, and we want to keep it that way, so we want to be on the up and up, because it comes with a great sacrifice. I've given up my entire professional career to provide childcare and education to families. You know what I mean? So that's not something that I take lightly at all.
I understand. And I appreciate it. We appreciate it. So we have a question for you. Are there licenses required for aftercare services?
So the recent mandate with COVID, these drop-in centers or access centers, no. So that's the thing that we've been fighting. You've made us keep our license and our compliance for years. And let me tell you, when like a little bit of the quarantine lifted, my inspector came out that week. So I was originally due in March to get my inspection. She came out, I think, in June sometime to do my inspection. So I asked her about it. And aftercare programs, some of them are not, especially the faith-based ones. And people should know the difference. I worked for my church's summer camp, and they were not licensed. And trust me, the difference between an unregulated licensed provider makes all the difference, because they will cut corners because they don't have the resources that we as licensed professionals have. And sometimes parents make that because they want to pay $50 a week instead of $100 a week.
Got it.
So you get what you pay for. With $50 a week, that's $10 a day. At $10 a day, how much do you think an employee could possibly make off of those earnings? And in this case, how can you afford to buy hand sanitizer and disinfectant wipes and get your place professionally cleaned at $10 a day? Not an hour. I apologize. $10 a day.
Okay.
So that's how you get the overcrowd. And if you go into a facility and they don't have a certificate of occupancy, or they don't have their license on the wall that says how many can be in that space, I would say just be aware of it. Be leery of it.
Okay. Okay.
We worked really hard. We go through health and safety. We go through DHS. We go through the sex offender training. We go through CPR training. I mean, there are so many different trainings that we go through that, honestly, that's one of the reasons why child care centers will provide after school care services. It's kind of like if I can have your 3-year-old and then I turn around and have your 9-year-old, I can keep a family together. So that's one of the reasons why we will provide that service or what have you. But from a physical perspective, really, they need more space, School-age kids need more space, and a lot of facilities don't have that ability to do
Space
that.
for them. Okay.
Yeah, and guess what else? Guess what else isn't regulated or licensed? PAL centers, because they're community-based centers. Yeah, people never thought about that. And I remember hanging out at PAL centers, but they weren't licensed. They still aren't.
Just go there and have fun.
Yeah, go there
and hope nothing happens.
Yeah, hope nothing.
Snacks. Yes. Oh goodness. Let me see. She said, I've been hearing mixed answers about licensing. My organization is looking to open our doors in November for aftercare.
Okay.
Got it. So awesome. She said it was good info. So thank you.
You're welcome. So under COVID, these access centers, that's what they may be trying to do. They may be trying to become an access center, which you really don't have to be licensed. But the idea that all they're doing is supervising internet school, like virtual school, and they may have a grant or some funds to provide some snacks. Outside of that, it's nothing else that they should be providing. What do I mean? Not helping kids zip up their pants, not helping them go to the bathroom, because then you go into child abuse, you go into criminal, you go into offender. All those clearances are needed to run programs with children.
Okay. So we have another question. Do you have to have OSHA compliance certificates?
You do not, because Health and Safety, Philadelphia's Department of Health and Safety, and also the food department, they're enough. So when it comes to, let's take a step back. There's liability. Your liability insurance company does its own inspection for the overall facility. DHS comes in and they do staffing, child, and facility. You have the health department that comes in that does all things health and records of what have you. And what I mean by health is cleanliness. It means food preparation and serving. Also safety in terms of like your gates, your lighting, and so forth. And then we have a fire inspection that goes through your systems. Is your building fully equipped? Sorry, my son. So is your building equipped? So, you got the fire. And then you have L&I. L&I may come out to, excuse me. Okay, Gavin. That may come out as well to do an overall check of the outside of your property.
Okay.
So we have tons. We don't need OSHA, to be honest with you, because every there's a single department for everything in Philadelphia.
Okay. So some people trying to find out how to open up business and things. I'm going to turn the call a little bit back to the babies, So what would a typical school day look like for a child that's coming to the center? I know we had talked about when it was on COVID and how they missed that socialization.
Absolutely.
So like tell us about what a typical day would look like. And then I want to, go into how to keep socialization going with us being possibly at home or in a site.
Okay, so it's very difficult, and parents have to be willing to make the commitment. We're struggling with parents making a full commitment. Everything a parent says, they do the opposite of what they're saying. So an idea from my particular child. My child does not go to my program at all. That allows me to work with your child pretty much without bias, which is good. Similar to how he's calling my name 1,000 times. At the center, I don't have it. But a typical day for the kids that are in care, they arrive between 8:30 and 9:30 a.m. They get their temperature checked at the door. They get a list of the symptom record questions that we ask the parents about their night or the day before. They sit down in a chair, put their feet on, like they have 2 feet thingies assigned on the floor. And then hand sanitizer. We let them change their shoes into their at-school shoes. So they have at-home shoes, at-school shoes. Put their book bags into their cubbies. Cubbies do not touch. So they have dividers in there so that my book bag won't touch your book bag with germs and stuff. You go wash your hands, and then you go into a classroom. Once you get into a classroom, they start off with a center, free choice center, and then you get to enjoy like your day so far. Our virtual school starts 1 hour after that. Virtual learning gets an opportunity to have a live view into the actual classroom. There are teachers that start. We have we try to run the schedules parallel, but we have teachers on live, and they start off with circle time. Once they start off with circle time, they do a little bit of scavenger hunt. They'll do a little bit of songs. They'll do a little bit of dances, dancing or stretching and so forth. And then they'll go into a question of the day. That question of the day is the same for on-site as well as virtual. And then for both programs, they get to break for either a snack or outdoor time. So parents are encouraged to take their kids for a walk. Do they actually do it? Only a few, but they want the kids to stretch and enjoy themselves. So not stretch and enjoy, but kind of like get the wiggles out, have fun and get outside. The other thing with our virtual program is that we are planning monthly meetups where parents can come, allow kids to interact with each other. I did have a parent today that emailed me and said, hey, we're not coming. I don't feel comfortable yet. That's fine. The other thing is the meetup is actually at Linvilla Orchard. So we will be outside, pretty much can do whatever you want to do, but just know that we're there. For my who goes to school, I give him incentives and treats for keeping his mask on all day, and he does. He wears mask from the time I drop him off to the time I pick him up, and his reports that, and he gets outdoor time too. So a lot of fun, outdoor time, academics. It's a full day of learning and education.
That's a big one. I mean, me as an adult, sometimes, well, when it first started, I was over these masks. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? I'm talking to nurse friends, like, how do y'all do it? You get used to it. They like pros. And I saw some memes where they be like, we do this all day. I get that. That's your field. I'm just learning it. That's why I'm complaining a little bit, I said, look, you go here, Tiger, with your mask on. Keep calm. But, at first it was an adjustment. And that's one of the questions too. Like, how do you handle the social distancing with small children? How do you help them keep that mask on?
Listen, first of all, social distancing does not exist with small children. It is developmentally inappropriate. Okay. So what does that mean? Can you, if my 3-year-old, it's almost like me not touching my 3-year-old. That's insane. Kids develop touch through all of those senses we've learned about. Now, one of the things that you can reduce is maybe an elbow bump, a fist bump. At the end of the day, you end up giving out hugs. And so the best way of doing it, let me tell you, the best way, because kids need, when you go over how I'm feeling today and they say, I feel sick, you think I'm going to say, get away from me? That's not fair to a 2-year-old. How do they get to process themselves? And then by the time they become our age, they don't know how to interact with adults or have appropriate adult relationships, because all during COVID, this year or 2 years that is going to be, they can't touch or feel anybody. That's impossible. Now, we don't give out kisses. That's the difference, because you can be able to give kisses on cheeks or whatever the thing. Sometimes kids will come up and give you a kiss on the cheek when they give you a hug. Of course, we can't do that anymore. So one of the things we do is we'll wear a face shield if a kid is having a difficult day, so they can see our emotions in response to how they are feeling.
Very nice.
For the most part, with staff, we provided staff and children with masks. Both of their own fit, liking the ones that go above your head, behind your neck, behind your ears, whatever you do to make the day, and it's fine. And what we do is we ask parents to bring 5 brown bags each week. And what they do is during lunch, they put the mask in a brown bag. We wrap it up, put it in a cubby. After lunch, you get a clean mask. And that's the same for staff. And the other thing too is I have a washer and dryer on site. So any staff that's having trouble with keeping clean uniforms, they can throw them in the washing machine and dryer, and they get washed and dried by the end of the day. So when you come to work the next day, we have clean uniforms. We wash our hands when we get to work. And that was the practice before COVID, because again, we're Keystone Stars 4. So a lot of this stuff is not new to us. But in terms of social distancing, I could send and share a picture of our environment. We do have our tables. We don't have that big table where 5 or 6 kids can sit at the table anymore. We have those really small square tables where we have 1 or 2 students that are there. So for the parents that are online, you can go to our Instagram page, which is Little Learners. We have an example of a teacher and kids that are there with their mask on. Yeah, it's called Little Learners. Yeah, Little Learners, and it's on Instagram. We have a picture of our complete environment. One of the things parents can know, or parents should look for, is that we pulled up our carpet over the summer and we replaced it with flooring so that we could reduce a lot of the spread of other germs or illnesses and so forth. We used to get our carpet once a month, but at this point with COVID, get rid of it. We pulled everything up. It was a major project, and you can see that on our social media pages as well.
Awesome. So, I like the candidness of showing, like, look, this is what we're doing. And that's important when looking for a center to send your child.
Yes.
Knowing what's going on.
You do. The other thing is with parents, they can always do a virtual tour to see inside the building. That's the thing about it. So there are no secrets. Parents can see it. And sure, sometimes we'll ask kids to skip a letter on the seating, like, okay, sit A and C, or let them sit on Z as opposed to A, B, C, and D. We'll do that. But if kids end up touching, when I get the pictures of my kid during the day, he's sitting right on snug beside another friend at school. They all have their masks on. My kid has been tested for COVID, and thank goodness it came back negative. We've been tested. So it's one of those things where it's like, you just use whatever precautions that you can, but we cannot keep kids away from other kids. They are suffering.
Yeah.
They really are.
And some of the adults are suffering too.
Absolutely.
But if they're honest.
And they're honest. Think about how much we project onto our children. When we're having a bad day, our kids are having a bad day because we've made them have a bad day. And so one of the things that helped me to be a good parent is if I drop my kid off at school. Now, let me tell you, I pick my kid up early. I pick him early because I still miss them and I want to spend time with them. But if I need a break to go to the supermarket, I want to take a long shower, I want to do some laundry before the kid gets out of school. You send them to school. Send them for 3 days. Send them for 2 days. But as long as you as mom get a break and they get a break from you, trust me, they needed it. My kid was so relieved.
Yes. I like that part of you getting a break, but the child getting a break from you, because sometimes that child is tired of you. Like my mama told me no for the umpteenth time, and I go to daycare, they gonna tell me yes.
Exactly. My kid was, you should have, on the first day of school, I thought he was going to be nervous, right? He ran. I was like, he was so sick of me. He didn't want to learn another thing. He didn't want me to tell him what to do again. And one of the things that I learned was that as parents, all we do is tell kids, stop. Don't do that. Go to the bathroom. Eat your food. Come here. Let me do this. It's like,
I love it. Yes, they sick of it. Sick of it.
Yeah, they're sick of us.
Crystal said, "Great to have a center that fully cares." Absolutely, you can definitely hear her voice. She's enjoying what she's doing. Responsible, dope. Yes, social skills, they need it. Indeed.
They need. So I'll share a quick story. I'll tell you how much social skills are needed. On Friday, I got a call from Gavin's teacher to tell me that he actually got into a tussle at school. And I was like, really? Like, he's never done that at my program. I was surprised. So I asked Gavin, which I could probably ask him now in front of you guys. He said, Bryson threw me down. I said, well, why did Bryson throw you down? He said, I don't know. And I told him to stop. He said, he wouldn't stop. I said, well, what did you do? He said, I bit him. I said, Gavin. He said, I know, I didn't use my words. And I looked at him like, okay. You want to tell Mom? Hey, come here.
Bryson put me down on the ground. And I bite.
You hear? Bryson put me down on the ground and I bite. Were you supposed to bite? No. Supposed to tell Bryson to get off of you, right? So he knows. And when I heard him say that, I felt so bad for the other child. But guess what? Gavin had his mask on. I said, you bit him? And because he was on top of him. The teacher describes it as the two were wrestling. Now, let me tell you, it's crazy. Gavin is the only child. He doesn't know how to wrestle. So a part of me was very thankful for the experience because I don't wrestle with my kid. My kid doesn't know how to defend himself. And that's what I realized. I forgot to teach my kid how to express himself and when people are pushing themselves on you and it's unwanted.
Wow.
So now is the time to have the good touch, bad touch discussion because I didn't think it was ready. But guess what? I wouldn't have known that if my kid is at home with me all day.
Oh.
That's the whole problem solving, communication, socializing. Those were all the skills. So guess what? This week we started off talking about classroom rules. We talked about expression. We talked about emotions and feelings. We talked about telling the teacher. How do you learn that if you're at home?
Right.
You don't learn that. You don't learn through practice.
Right. I love it.
Practice.
Now, now in that vein, because like I've known some people who have sent their child to a program and they find out that their child has these behaviors that they're not experiencing at home. So what are some pointers you have as it relates to like some behavioral problems? So like this was like the first time for us for Gavin, but ongoing behavior problems, like every day you're getting a phone call, and how to support a parent coming to terms with their child really potentially having some behavior problems.
Let me tell you this. I'm an educator, and I'll be very candid with you guys. I divorced my husband last year, and in my divorce, my son experienced a lot of separation. His behavior became really, really unmanageable to the point where we.
Backwards.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Me backwards.
You mean backwards? Okay, give me a minute. So his behavior became very difficult to manage. So one of the things we did was we talked to his pediatrician, and she referred us for an evaluation. I hope you guys can hear me. I apologize. Okay. Can I talk to Miss Jennifer? Because I can't put it back. I just got to tell her something.
Just a little bit longer.
Daddy did it. I know. I apologize. But the fast forward is that we listened to our pediatrician because she knew better than me. She's a doctor. You know what I mean? I'm a parent, but she knew better than me. We got Gavin tested, and after that, they believed that Gavin had autism. Now, what happened? They misdiagnosed him for sure because they didn't understand the impact of two parents separating on a child that was used to having mommy and daddy present at all times. But instead of telling them how to do their job, I went along with the script. I took the evaluation. I apologize. My son has knocked it over. I took the evaluation. And what I did, I started teaching Gavin accordingly. So what that means is that what they saw as problematic, I decided to work on at home, and it was expression. So how do you feel? How do you feel right now? He's playing music. So one of the things you guys should know is that we learned that he has perfect pitch. He's now getting lessons because he can play 3 songs, and he's learned to play them by ear. Gavin can sing his first, his last name. He knows my phone number. He knows his dad's phone number. He knows he's fully potty trained. All those things that they said he couldn't do, parents, as you're the person that's responsible for your child's development first. So what you do is you start teaching them what it is that need to know. Gavin got evaluated. There's no sign. Gavin tests now on like a kindergarten level, and he's 3 years old.
Wow.
So parents, even if your child has a behavioral problem, start where they are. And what I mean by I had to check in on my son. I had to ask him, how are you feeling today? What are you thinking about? I had to teach him language. I had to show him pictures. I had to read him stories. I had to be transparent and apologize to him. Nights that he wanted dad, I had to say, we can call him or daddy can come. Daddy will come in the morning. And so what I'm expressing to parents is that if your child has a behavioral problem or a learning disability or whatever it is, be open to the professionals. That's why they are there. You see what I'm saying? You have to be open to them and listen, and you have to follow up. Whenever I came home, I had to make the investment in my child. So one of the things I do is I put down my cell phone. I put down my cell phone. I have a conversation.
No, we park right there.
About the incident is because
park right there. You put down your what? Park right there.
I put down my phone. Yeah.
Because they get us.
Go ahead.
They get us. You know, we be so caught up. You got to be able to separate.
No. Let me tell you something. Parents, I am dating, and men know or able. You can get me after like 9 o'clock or after my child goes to sleep because I read him a story. I pray with my son. I tell him, how, you're a king, you're strong, you are kind, you are good.
Yes. Affirmations.
Those scriptures. I can do all things through Christ that strengthen me. And he knows, what's your other scripture? You want to say it? He might not say it. But the thing is, you want to say a scripture? He's being shy right now. But guys recordings. Let me tell you, it's to the point where I have instilled that in him because I don't remember my mom telling me, "You are beautiful." My son said to me the other day, "Mommy, you have a long nose." I said, "I do." I said, "What do you think about it?" He says, "I want a long nose too. I like it." I said, "Well, you have a small nose like Daddy." I said, "Don't you want to be a little bit like Daddy?" He was like, "I guess so." But and the role model. But I say that the affirmation is that he knows what color are you? What color are you? Can you tell me what color? Brown. I am brown. And what color is mommy? Brown. What color is grandma? What color is grandma? Come on.
She's vanilla.
She's vanilla.
Okay.
Grandmama is vanilla. One grandmama is vanilla. The other grandmama is dark chocolate. And guess what? He goes to a predominantly white school, tons of Asians, and every day I tell my brown boy how much. Every day I got 2 grandmoms. Every day I tell him, you do have 2 grandmoms. I had that conversation with him.
Yes.
The school is not the first ones introducing something to my child. He understands that relationships, and this is by no means any disrespect. He understands that am I a boy or a girl?
Yeah.
Are you a boy or a girl?
I'm a boy.
How are you a boy? How do you know that you're a boy? What do you have? He says, I have a penis. Mommy has
Penis.
I need to have those discussions with him in a world that
Penis?
No, because girls.
You have penis.
No, I don't. Mommy has breasts. We go through this because he's being silly now. We go through this because I need him to understand. When I sent him to his first classroom, he had a transgender teacher, and they asked the teacher to refer. Asked the teacher to refer using by name only. The concern I had with it, and it wasn't to be disrespectful, I'm teaching my child how to respect adults. So I wanted my child to say Mr. or Mrs. But this particular individual didn't allow that. And you know what? I understand that, but I cannot allow a 3-year-old to call a 30-something-year-old by their first name. And so that started the conversation with my ex-husband. How do we respect this teacher, but also teach our child our values at home and be secure himself? Because mind you, this trans person is potty training, is taking your children to the bathroom. And I'm not saying that they're not safe. They are, because we chose a great school. They have all their clearances. But the volume of my household says this. How do I teach that? You have to spend time with your children in order to teach them that you want them to know. You cannot expect to teach them everything. The topics that I just presented to you are hard. The kids in my program already teach them good touch. And the thing about it is, the reason why I teach it is because, again, I'm a social worker. It happens at this age. So everything that I teach your child, I need to teach my child.
Yes.
The only difference is that I don't teach religion in my program because we respect all of our families. And not only that, our program at one point was dominant. We had 70% of families that were, and that's how much they trusted us. You know what I mean? And they knew that I was Christian. They knew that I would never, ever disrespect them or teach their child anything that was unhealthy or unsafe. I know that was a lot. I apologize.
No. And I love that because, like, even knowing the body parts and things, you want to be able to have this conversation with children early. I was in social work in my background as well, and working with child protective services. Like, you hear a lot of different stories of babies at young ages. So you want to be able to have these conversations with children. You want to be able to let them know what this is from that is, how to protect themselves, how to be able to voice and speak up for those things. And you're right, it starts at home. The school helps with a lot of the pieces, but you are then the person to confirm, yes, this is right for you to be doing, or no, this is not right for you to be doing.
Absolutely. The only reason, the importance of me teaching that is because in this day and age and in this world is so much more complicated. You know, and with the complications, kids are seeing this. I didn't know that my son was watching his dad and I go through a divorce. I didn't know the impact because I thought he was so young.
They see everything.
You know what I mean? And then we had to get, and let me just tell you this too. His father and I had to make a conscious choice to work together. We're trying to raise a young Black boy in today's society. So our communication has been better divorced than it was in marriage, which is
right.
all because we have this kid.
Yes.
You know? So that's what I mean by put down the phones. There are things that I've been teaching my son that you can't do unless you spend that quality time. Let me also say this, parents, you guys are tired. I know it is. There are times that I'm tired. But opportunities that I use to teach my kid when I'm in the bathroom, when we're eating, or when we're in a car, those are the prime times to put your phone down. You shouldn't be driving on your cell phone anyway. I stopped talking to my girlfriends in the morning gossiping. Talking to my son about having a great day.
Yes.
Yeah.
It happens and they remember. That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I have another question. So in your instance, it worked out where the diagnosis was wrong, but you were able to reinforce and help get on the right level. Let's talk about special needs. So somebody who is definitely like with the special needs, getting their IEP or speech delay or the lack of gross motor skills. How are those children supported? I've had enough conversation with parents where their children are enrolled in the program and they don't know what an IEP is, or they don't know what an ASQ is.
Let me tell you, we do those assessments when they come in. We have 45-day screening tools. Now, actually, when Ms. T interviews you, we tell you right off the bat. I mean, we've been in this field for so long that we can tell.
Yes.
So regardless of what you tell us, and guess what our new policy is? That we will refer with your permission, but if you don't accept services, we can't help your child. So at the moment, you have to make a conscious decision if you want to do something about it. It's as simple as that. And parents, there have been parents that have said, well, you know what? I don't think that you're the program for us. And what we said was, you know what? Here are those resources in case you change your mind later. And guess what? You can always call us. And guess what? We get emails and we get phone calls. And parents will say, who do I see first? The first thing you have to see is your child's pediatrician. The first step to everything. The step is be honest with yourself. Be very honest with yourself. If your child is playing with cousin so-and-so and cousin so-and-so knows how to jump, but you realize your child has not jumped, meaning 2 feet off the ground at the same time, you know that maybe something is going on. If your child isn't eating solid foods, but everyone else around them is suggesting they eat solid foods, but they're only doing liquids, the light bulb should go off. So parents, you have to be honest with yourself. And even if you don't be honest with yourself, if you send your child to a trusted provider, trust their recommendation based off of the time they spend with the child. Most parents will leave their kids in care from 7:30 a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. That is about 10.5 hours out of a day. You mean, you don't want to trust me that it's time to potty train? You know what I mean? And so to this day, we've always done evaluations. We've done assessments. And guess what we do? We have driven you to Elwyn. We have driven you. We have gone. We will go with you because it's a scary process. How do I know? I did my son with child guidance. He graduated. Gavin and my ex-husband and Gavin and I, we graduated from our program a month ago. We did that program for 1 year. Now, do you know how hard it was for a child care provider, a social worker, a mature mom to do this? We graduated as a family.
Very nice. Very nice.
As the whole family. And after we got that second evaluation done and saw that it was no concerns, we had to work for 1 full year. And let me tell you this: if any issues arise, I'm going back. I'm going back.
Awesome.
If you don't get it right now, these cases where these men are out here being shot by police because they can't comprehend what the officers are saying to them, that's because their parents turned a blind eye to their behaviors earlier on. If you know that your kid likes to torture animals, mom, that is
serious.
Mm-hmm.
If you know that your child likes to fight all the time because it seems like they're angry, mom, that is serious. If you know that your child does not sleep at night, meaning they're up from midnight to 3 a.m., mom, that is serious. If you know that your child will not eat a meal, mom, that is serious. If you know that your child has not grown and is still wearing the same size they were a year ago, mom, that is serious. These are signs that you can see within other children. And when you look at your child, if you have that gut feeling that you're uncertain, talk to God. We don't report you. We're here to help.
Got it. Got it.
There are
Yeah.
tons, I'll say this, there are tons of services out there, whether you opt to. But I'll be honest with you, if you just choose a good provider and they just pay attention and give your child that one-on-one care, a lot of the issues start to change over time. And guess what I learned? Someone's at my door, which is strange. What I had to learn was that, I apologize. What I had to learn was I had to spend time with my own child. I closed down one of my centers. I had 2 centers. I apologize. You guys have to take a journey with me because I have someone at my door. I had to close down one of my centers to pay attention to my child. You know, that was huge. Very wherever I go, he goes.
Oh.
But any last minute questions? Because I don't know who.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. So I definitely thank you for joining us today. What would you say would be the highlight that you want us to walk away with?
Oh, I have a delivery. Let me just grab some right there.
Okay, so that was still some great information. I'm so grateful that she was able to join us on today. Hold on, it's not letting me mute. There we go. I'm so grateful that she was able to join us on today. Let me see. Crystal said, impressions, our children are important. Gotta pay attention. Here we go. Nope. Okay. There we go. Okay, yes. So what's something that you want us to walk away with?
If you can, really just spend time with your own children. Get to know them. Okay. Get to know them for who they are and who they aspire to be. We often expect our children to do what we say. That's fine. What about how they feel? What about what they're going through? And during this time, they've heard us complain. Sorry about that. They've heard us complain about COVID. They've seen us struggle a little bit about COVID. Our kids need to know that through it all, they are still loved. That's really important because they feel like this is their fault. And COVID is not their fault. You know what I mean? Instill in your child that things you're doing the best that you can. Be transparent with your child. I tell Gavin, mommy is tired. You have to be transparent because if you constantly hide stuff, they're going to learn to do the same thing. So just be transparent, be open, be honest. Yeah.
Yes, Ms. Ryan is going to help your child. Be honest with your child. Trust your provider or teacher and work with them.
Absolutely. I can't stress enough. Guess what? Everybody is here to do a certain job. Let us do our job. We let moms be their moms. I always tell a kid, whatever mommy says goes. Yes. I follow what mom says, and then I ask mom, how can I make things better? So I'm not the boss of anybody's household, but mom is always in charge. But I ask, how can I help? What can we do?
Yes.
You know what I mean? During COVID, our parents needed stuff. We gave out ShopRite gift cards with our grant money.
Oh, very nice.
We revamped our entire environment. That $20,000 that we got, we went ahead and got our building worked on, and we gave resources to families.
Very nice.
You see what I'm saying? Because parents needed food. I got tired of paying $5 for strawberries. I was frustrated about the supermarket. My kid kept asking for strawberries. And I'm like, these strawberries are $5. Because $5 with strawberries that last for 2 days is ridiculous.
You're right.
And I got to risk getting COVID going to buy strawberries at ShopRite. You see what I'm saying? But I had to explain to him, Gavin, mommy can only do strawberries 1 time per week. Or maybe mommy can do strawberries today, but mommy can't do strawberries tomorrow. Don't make promises that you can't keep, and be upfront and be honest with them. I was not the person getting PUA, and I was not the person getting food stamps, so I could not afford what we normally ate. And all my kid did was ask for everything I did not buy. Isn't that what they do?
That's how it works. That's how it works.
That's what they do. So
but you don't.
I had to say to him, mommy will get it on Friday.
Yes.
And then mommy got it. You know what I mean? Because that was within what I could do.
Yes.
So just be upfront and honest with these kids. Talk to your child's teacher. Parents, be real with yourself. Everybody talks about, being real, but it's not easy. It hurts. There are times I have cried. I've cried like, oh my goodness, I caused this because I decided to leave a marriage, But when I think about it, we're healthier, we're happier now. It was supposed to go that way. But what was supposed to happen was that we were supposed to make our decisions like kind of incorporate our son in it, and we didn't do that. We did not do that. So we ended up paying the price. And then, like I said, together we had to work as a team for a whole year.
Awesome. I love it. But you graduated. You made it through.
We graduated.
Yes. Awesome. I thank you so much. This was amazing. I'm grateful that Gavin was able to be a part. Some things. Again, I just want to share. Here we go. Overbrook Little Learners.
Thank
you. And it's so beautiful. They have these uniforms, and you don't see so many daycares or preschools that have a uniform, and it's so adorable. So again, if you're looking for a site, you be sure to check out Overbrook Little Learners. You can find them on Instagram at Little Learners. As you can see, Rasheda has on her uniform shirt as well. It looks like she has orange nails on too. That goes with it.
I do. Wait,
I love it. Yes, I love it. You got to coordinate. And look, you are always repping your brand, so I'm not mad at you. So again, thank you so much for joining me on tonight, and I'll be in touch.
Indeed. And if anyone has any questions afterwards, I'd be glad to ask. I mean, I know I'm laughing about it now. We worked through a lot of stuff, but trust me, you will survive. You'll get through COVID, and just love one another. I'm telling you, love is the greatest gift that we can give one another. Love to our children, love to our mates, anything. Feel love. Do what you need to do to feel good inside.
Yes. Awesome. Thank you again so much. You have a great night. Good night.
Yep, you too. Good night, everyone.
Awesome. So that was great. I hope that you enjoyed it. Sis came through in the clutch. Gavin gave us a little appearance too, talked to us a little bit. We talked about some safe touch, good touch, bad touch. That's a conversation you want to have as we are going back to school, not going back to school, just a general conversation you want to have. As children are together, sometimes anything is possible to happen. But also being there with your child, being real with your child, helping your child learn feelings, emotions, and to express them. So much great information on tonight. Such a great start to our back to school series. Be sure to join us next week as we will have Dr. Cindy Legree. She is a school counselor, and she's going to break down what students need to do to stay on track. I have been hearing a lot about babies not signing into school. That's going to bite them in the end. We want to hope and support children to sign in as they should be signing in. She's going to talk about different things of children that may be preparing to graduate this year. I know it didn't work out for all. Well, it wasn't how they had hoped it to be able to have that traditional graduation, that traditional prom, but how to support the child to keep those grades going where they should be. She's going to talk about those things. She is the Upward Bound guru. She used to be at University of Delaware, so she's going to share some amazing things. So I do hope that you join me on next week. As we talked about pre-K and pre-kindergarten and where it all begins, I also want to throw in this plug. of a resource that I found. There are 2 ways you can find PHL Pre-K. PHL Pre-K is a free program for children ages 3 and 4, and all you have to do is reside in Philadelphia and be 3 or 4. You can call their number at 844-PHL Pre-K or visit their website at phlprek.org. And as Rasheda shared, she is in that branch of the PHL Pre-K program. Again, it is a free program for children that are 3 or 4. There are no income requirements, so you could definitely possibly get in. So be sure to give them a call if you're interested. Again, I'll put that up again. Their number is 844-PHL Pre-K. All right. So be sure to check that out. I'm going to do my little do as we get ready to close on out. As always, we want to hear from you. If you have a topic or a resource that you want me to bring, or you know somebody that would be amazing to be a guest, then email me at chosencounselorsinc@gmail.com. Okay, so that was amazing. I did miss you all last week. So glad to be back here today. We're going to be going strong for the rest of this month. We're going to be back in October with some amazing things. I'll talk about that later on in the month. Got some things planned for November. It's going to be amazing. December is going to be amazing too. We're going to keep on riding this wave. So thank you again so much for tuning in. I love you all for real. Until next time, bye-bye.